resources. Plus, Del Mar advancing to the finals, where they will have a chance to win title number 8. We'll have more on their semifinal win coming up in sports.
So on that roller coaster of temperatures, we had numbers return to near average today, set for potentially record high temperatures tomorrow, then a big cool down. And a little bit of rain to talk about too. I'll have that for you coming up.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Dana Cicchini.
And I'm Rob Petrie. 47 ABC News at 11 starts right now.
The family of Anton Black reaching a final resolution in federal court following his death at the hands of police officers in 2018. Black was just 19 years old. The settlement includes monetary compensation for his family and reforms to the state's Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The office will have to adapt to new policies on how medical examiners investigate police custody deaths, specifically in cases involving law enforcement restraint. The office also ordered to make examinations more impartial and to do additional reviews before the release of autopsy reports. Medical examiners will have to present victims' families with more information and resources to correct autopsies.
Meanwhile, a Dover man has been sentenced to 70 years in prison for a 2021 assault and murder. Back in August of 2021, 32-year-old Ronald Suber ran a catalytic converter theft ring with Tori Balfour, Anna Hurst, and Brian May. Suber had become suspicious that Hurst had provided information to the police about the crime ring and confronted her after the group had drove to a secluded cornfield. Now, after making allegations against Hurst, Suber shot both Hurst and May, with the latter of which managing to escape on foot through that field. Now, Suber tried to search for him, only to abandon that search and beat Hurst to death before fleeing the scene with Balfour.
First Forecast is brought to you by FH Fur.
So closer to average today with highs in the low 60s, mid 60s in some spots. Tomorrow going to be close to 80. So right back to short sleeves weather, and then a stronger cold front comes through into Friday, and highs won't even get back to 60 in most spots. It's also going to come with our next shot for some rain, some much needed rain after a very dry October. Most of November now looks like it's going to be very similar to last month. So we'll take what we can get at this point. But highs tomorrow could be pushing towards records. I'll show you those numbers coming up. Talk about the rain on Friday. A much cooler weekend, although the sun will return, so we'll have some nice days to talk about. But with the clear skies and the cold temperatures, could be enough for some frosty starts in some of our mornings into next week. Get to that 7-day forecast here in a few minutes. Robin Hannah.
Rich, thank you. A local law enforcement agency is urging people to be more aware of vehicle crimes.
Absolutely. After a recent uptick in car burglaries and thefts, police are trying to put out helpful information to help avoid these crimes. 47 ABC's Layla Wea has the details.
Sometime between November 6th and 7th, we had about over 50 cars broken into in a certain geographic area on South DuPont Highway.
Dozens of cars rummaged through in 2 different parking lots in Dover. Luckily, only one of them was stolen. Dover Police Department PIO Ryan Schmidt says a popular internet trend contributes to some of the more recent upticks in vehicle crimes.
This year we had a big spike in Hyundais and Kias, obviously, because of the TikTok trend, the Kia boys. And that has been a huge problem for us. It kind of tampered down for a little bit, but it obviously is still a problem.
Some break-ins come up with stolen items, others a full-on joyride.
It really just kind of is a situational based thing, but for the most part, it's a quick thing. Hey, I see this car here, I'm going to do it because it's easy. And then they go take it to the next location, whether they're going to a friend's house, girlfriend's house, or a partner's house. And then once they're done, they drop it off and take another one when they're at that new location.
Removing easily spotted valuables from your car is one way Schmidt says you can avoid a car crime.
A lot of times these thefts are a crime of opportunity. We see it all the time where people are walking up and down the street at night, just peeking in cars. When they see something they like, they'll bust the window or try to get in the car and take it.
And service manager at Delaware Tire Centers, Alan Kress, says making sure you only park your car in well-lit areas can help deter car thieves.
Keeping it in view, parking in dark alleys or parking in a secluded spot or something like that, it's going to be less people are going to be able to see if somebody is trying to break into it. I think that's the biggest deterrent. Well-lit parking lots.
Now, Dover police say they saw 21 additional car crimes between 2022 and 2023.
Kias and Hyundais are some of the more popular targets, but Schmidt says that everyone should take precautionary steps to protect themselves and their vehicles. And of course, you can find these stories and much more online. Just log on to 47abc.com. Meanwhile, in Dover, Delaware State University is hosting a conference with the goal of connecting black farmers to needed resources.
Yeah, officials say that group is disproportionately impacted when it comes to getting access to capital and more. 47 ABC's Jabari Burnett has the story.
I'm 71 years old. I started farming from my dad. I was about 10 years old, and I loved being on the tractor. It's a beautiful thing.
Chester Scott Jr. is a fourth-generation Delaware farmer. He says rising operational costs and the desire to expand his 19-acre family farm led him to the 2023 Black Farmers Conference at Delaware State University.
Our farmers are underserved, meaning that they just don't have the knowledge and the awareness of those. What does that loan application even look like? Or even when the loan application comes up, do they know the deadlines? Do they know how to fill out the paperwork?
The event allowing farmers